Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out an old-time classic, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Fantastic song. Can't believe that it's taken me this long, really. I've had a YouTube channel for 10 years now and not done this song. There must be something wrong. But anyway, I'm going to correct that right now. So I'm planning on giving you a few different approaches to playing this song. Some kind of easy beginner stuff, some actual like the record ones, and a few more kind of advanced things where you can combine a couple of the musical elements if you're playing it by yourself, which I think can be quite fun. So we're going to start off with just talking quickly about the way Kurt Cobain plays his power chords. Now when I teach power chords, I nearly always teach it with the first finger playing the root note and then the third and fourth fingers playing the next two strings. But if you want to go for the proper authentic Nirvana thing, what you want to be doing is using your third finger to cover those two strings rather than third and fourth fingers. What inevitably happens is the third finger lays down a bit too much and you get this note, which is the note in this case on the third string. You don't really want that note, to be honest, but if it accidentally happens sometimes, that's kind of what happens in the actual Nirvana versions of many of the songs. So you probably, if you're playing Nirvana, you want to be doing your power chords that way rather than that way. So the chords that we've got in this song, we're starting off with an F, which is the root note in the first fret of the thickest string, and then third finger will go down the third fret. Remembering that the other thinner strings, you want them muted, so that, like I said, the third finger might lay over a bit too far, but you don't want it to. Okay, so try and keep those thinner strings muted. The next chord is B flat, okay, which is, again, it's a B flat power chord, but if you accidentally hit that note, you know, it doesn't sound great, but it happens sometimes on the recordings again, so don't be too stressed about it if you get that note coming out occasionally. And then we've got an A flat power chord, which is the same, you know, power chord shape, but up on the fourth fret of the thicker string. That's A flat, and then you move that down a string to D flat. So the most simple way of playing this, if you just simplify the rhythm right down, would be F for two strums, B flat, A flat to D flat. Now, what really makes this tune really work is the rhythm. So let's go and have a look at the rhythm now. So there are two rhythm patterns that you're going to hear with that chord progression in the song. The first one is the intro, which goes like this. Okay, now I'm going to give you the count and the proper technical stuff, but you could also be doing this just by listening. But what I'd recommend is that you start with this as a very specific pattern and practice it up, get it right, and then allow yourself to loosen up and concentrate on the vibe, because getting the vibe right is a lot more important in this kind of Nirvana kind of punk attitude songs. You know, the technical stuff is less important than the attitude that you put into it, I think, anyhow. So let me take you through the technical part. So we're starting off on the F chord, and we're going to go down, up, down, mute, 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 mute. Then we're changing, while that mute's going on, we change to the B flat, and we've got down, down, up. Okay, now what's really key here is that you realize that the strumming hand keeps moving all the time. If you don't keep it moving, it's never going to quite feel right. Okay, I know sometimes you see me or other guitar players playing, and it might look like that's not happening, but it is. It's just smaller. So sometimes we might go down, up, down, up, down. So the fact that those movements are kind of small might look like the hand's just sitting there, but I would strongly recommend you start off with making big movements with your hand and just doing it like this. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay, so keeping it moving all the way through. Again, nice and slow. I'll give it a count this time as well. So 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and So down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, mute, 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 down, down, up. Then the same thing. You can hear already there's a little variation to that, because it's not an exact science. This is Nirvana, it's attitude. But start off with that as a set pattern, so you've got something to kind of get you off on the right track, and then, you know, use your energy and use your ears to, you know, play it how it is that you feel it and how you want it to sound. So that's the first really important one. Okay, later on, he actually simplifies it a bit to this. Which is down, down, up, change chord, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. 1, 2, E and up, 3 and 4 E and a 1, 2 E and up, 3 E and 4 E and a. When the band breaks it down for the first verse, there's a couple of different ways of approaching this. I'm going to start off by showing you exactly what Kurt played, then a simpler way, and then an even harder way. Now, I've added a chorus pedal to the sound, which is a real dominant kind of a thing in Nirvana. I believe that he uses a Boss CE1 pedal with all of the knobs turned all of the way up. I don't have a CE1 to test that, but I've put on quite a lot of depth and quite a lot of width to get this sound. You can hear it's kind of a bit wobbly. This is the sound of a chorus effect. You don't have to have it, but it does make it sound a bit more authentic. Now, the way that Kurt played this little part is the first finger in the 5th fret of the 3rd string and the second finger in the 6th fret of the 2nd string. And it's literally 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1. So it's just happening on beat 2 and the and after 2. Okay, you can hear that clear on the record. You shouldn't really have to count it, but just imagine you got that 1, 2 and do 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 1, 2 and 3 do 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 do. Okay, now these two notes can also be played here, which is actually even easier than playing it here. They've got a slightly thicker sound here, slightly less twangy than here, which I imagine is why Kurt's playing it in that position. But again, this is kind of easier, right, to play it just on the 1st fret, 1st finger barring the thinnest 2 strings. Same rhythm, 1, 2 and 3, 4 do 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 1 2 3. Okay, now the harder version, which is the way I've played it numerous times in you know, acoustic gigs or whatever, is to try and play the bass line at the same time, because the bass is playing the root note of the power chords in 8th notes. So just doing F, B flat, A flat, D flat. Which would be another option if you want to play something else, would just be to play those 8th notes, just those 1st fret on the 6th string and the 5th string, and then the same on the 4th fret. And if you want to be really clever, you can have a go at mixing the two by using your 1st finger as a bar, so you can play those 2 notes there. Okay, so I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Yeah, you can do that. It's not like, you know, it's not what's happening on the record. It's fairly complicated. There's no way you'd be able to do that while you were jumping around playing this tune live. But as a, you know, if you're playing it acoustically or whatever, it can be nice to have that bass movement as well as those notes. I've seen a few guys doing it with the thumb playing the bass note and then using fingers to pick out the notes. That works too. I find it a lot easier with the pick, but that's the way that you want to deal with that second section. Again, on the original recording, after a little while, as the band starts to build up, he just starts going just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a bit more distortion comes in on the guitar sound. So it's back up here again. You could use those 2 notes if you want, but here, just playing 2nd string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 3rd string. Okay, then we're into the chorus. One of the cool things that everyone loves about Nirvana is the light and shade. So after that heavy intro, we go into that really mellow verses, and then it kicks off again. So once it kicks off again, we're back to our same chord progression, the F, B flat, A flat, D flat, but with the heavier sound. Love that section of the song. A lot of people seem to miss that one out. So this one we've got F. And I'm pretty sure that it's just lift off the chord and play the thinnest 3 strings open. I always used to think it was in open tuning, but having just watched a bunch of videos, it just seems like it's lifting off that whole shape and playing the thickest 3 strings. And then moving it up a semitone to the F sharp. So F, F, open strings, F, F sharp, twice. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and then on beat 4, I'm using my second finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string to do a little kind of a bend. It's not very accurate. It's just it's more for the kind of the noise effect of it. And so I'm trying to keep some of my hand there. Okay, some of my hand is just hanging around there to mute the strings, but if some extra notes ring out, that's fine. Much more about the attitude there. And then very similar. Just F, F, open strings, F, B flat for 2, A flat for 2. F, F, open, F, F sharp, bend, F, open, F, B flat, A flat. So I also want to have a quick look at the solo as well. This is a pretty easy kind of a solo. Kurt never did stuff that was too technical. This is really just playing the melody. And it's a really good one for you guys to have a go at working out on your own as well. It's mostly can be played on the 3rd string, just the 3rd string, which I think is how Kurt's playing it. It's allowed to be a bit loose. If you let some open strings ring out, you know, it's going to be kind of add to the character of it a little bit, which is kind of unusual. But have a go at working it out on your own first. I'm just going to show you real quick what's going on so that you can you got somewhere to start if you want to have a go at it on your own. This is the last part of this video really, so shoot off and have a go. But if you want some hints, you probably want to start off on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, then 8th fret, then 10th fret, then 1st fret, 8th fret tone bend, release it, 6th fret, 5, 6, 5, 3, 1, 3, tone bend, release, 1st, open. Okay? Okay, and the last part, 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 3 on the next string, on the 4th string. Okay, so that's not meaning to show you the whole thing and give you lots of details. Just I wanted to give you a bit of a starter to get you going and having a go at working out that solo on your own. I really hope you dig on playing this tune. There is kind of stuff here for all different levels. You know, beginners can take away just the basic chords and have a go at doing the strumming. More advanced players can get into trying to play that bass note and the melody thing at the same time. And some of you might want to have a go at doing the solo as well. It's a great song. It's got so much vibe. And I think that's really important to remember with music like this, is that the notes are kind of important. You don't want to get like the wrong chords, but it's really the energy that you put into the music that kind of counts more than actually getting the notes right. And that's something that I think a lot of those kind of punk and the grunge thing was really about, that the attitude. And when you really put that attitude into what you're doing, then it kind of carries it a little bit more than, it's more important than the notes. I know that seems like wrong, instinctively wrong, but it's true. Some of those guys weren't that technically great. You might even say not very good, but they had such amazing energy that it made the music great and it connected with people. And I think that's kind of important no matter what level you're at. So anyway, have fun with this tune. Please subscribe to my channel if you dig what I do, and remember there's over 1,000 lessons all organised for you over on the website justinguitar.com, so please do go and check that out too. I'll see you for plenty more lessons very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye bye.